Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about Jupiter transiting through the third house in astrology and your natal chart. This transit can last like maybe 5 to 9 months, just because Jupiter generally stays in a sign for like roughly a year, but usually it's a little bit less than a year. So when Jupiter transits through your third house, typically we are busier during this time. There's a lot of daily movement and activity in like your everyday life and in your kind of routine, your habits. So there's more social interaction during this time. It's mostly involving like seeing more people in your everyday life, your day-to-day life. It's almost like your broader cultural group comes home, comes to like your neighborhood, to your everyday life. So you just see like a wider range of people in your daily life. And generally, like, interactions can be okay depending on aspects and just depending on, I guess, your attitude. But normally, like when Jupiter's in the third house, like just your attitude towards like these people in your everyday life is more positive. So the interactions that you have can be more positive, like especially with your siblings. Sibling relationships can be improved during this time or can feel more supportive or exciting or uplifting. There can also be travel occurring for you during this time, especially like to nearby places or maybe even like within your state, or just going out more within your community, within your neighborhood, within your environment, seeing more places, exploring more places locally. And since Jupiter represents like kind of the higher mind, Jupiter opposes the third house naturally, like Mercury, because Mercury rules the third house, Jupiter rules the ninth. They're naturally opposite to each other. So when Jupiter comes into this lower mind, not that it's like lower or less than Jupiter at all, but it's just Jupiter comes into a place where you're gathering information, you're learning, you're taking in all the information. So it expands how you do that. It kind of enhances how you do that. It's almost like you're able to synthesize everything that you've learned or everything that you've been learning up to a certain point, especially if you have been like working on a certain thing or project or goal. What you have been learning within a specific area, that can all be synthesized, and you can also start to apply and utilize that knowledge because what you do with it broadens and you're able to use that knowledge to learn skills that you can then apply during this time. And if information isn't necessarily being synthesized, what you're learning during this time is able to be synthesized better. It's almost like you can assimilate it better. There's also a desire during this time to learn more about Jupiter topics, so like religion, philosophy, cultures, things like that. It's like that thirst for knowledge comes into like your everyday life, and it can almost be like integrated into your routine. This like learning all this information, it becomes like a daily thing. And since the third house also rules our courage, that can definitely be enhanced during this time, like our confidence, especially when it comes to like speaking, utilizing our skills, sharing what we know, and just sharing more of ourselves, our communication. The growth that Jupiter brings with all third house activities, that in itself also increases our confidence. So the growth that we experience in how we have synthesized our knowledge, how we're applying our skills, how we have learned more from our day-to-day interactions, the growth that we experience through communicating more with people, maybe more traveling, learning more, broadening our mind, all of that growth also increases our confidence. And that confidence shows up again in sharing more of ourselves, in the excitement and enthusiasm we feel when it comes to pursuing more knowledge and growth. So that is Jupiter transiting your third house. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.